Are clouds just God's vape smoke? Were turkey dinosaurs made from turkey or dinosaurs? All of these questions you can find the answer to on this Paranormal Life! Welcome everyone to This Paranormal Life, the #1 comedy paranormal podcast in this dimension, this part of the globe, hosted by me and this guy over here, Kit Greer.
How's it doing? How you going out there?
How's it doing out there? If you haven't listened to the show before, my name is Rory. This guy's name is Kit. Every week on the show, we investigate a brand new paranormal case and come to a conclusion as to whether or not it is true or whether or not it is false.
That's right.
A lot of podcasts, at the start will talk about how their week's been. They'll talk about how things, just general chit chat. Mm-hmm. We're very much against that. We like to get straight into the action here.
Oh yeah, every single week.
If I was going to talk about my day for 45 goddamn minutes at the start of the show, I'd call it This Bullshit Life. But it's not, all right? This show is paranormal.
You told me you had a good day.
Today was pretty great, actually. It was fun. I had a really good sleep. I felt refreshed. I went to the gym. I won that money that I told you about. But it's all still bullshit when you're talking about things outside of the world of the paranormal.
Yeah. Fair.
I shouldn't have said won, because technically it was my uncle that died and it was in the inheritance.
That's not winning at all.
It wasn't. It was a big loss for me and the family and the church choir that he was a part of, because he was the only falsetto that they had available. But this show is about the paranormal, not about my dead uncle. So let's dive right into today's show. We got an email from a guy named David McCartney. And he said, "Hey fellas, just thought I'd write in with a quick suggestion. Have you ever heard of the Hexham heads?" In this email, he attached a very strange picture of something that I had never seen before, an illustration of tiny little human heads.
Wow. No, never seen that.
Never seen it before. David, you had my interest, and you'd be excited to know that today we're going to investigate your case. Our story today takes place in 1971, when two young boys named Colin and Leslie Robson were digging in the backyard of their council estate when they hit something hard in the soil. It looked like a small round rock, but when the boys pulled it out and turned it around, they discovered that carved in the rock was a small, strange human face.
Jesus.
Well, the boys kept digging, and it wasn't long until they discovered a second stone head.
Surely not.
Kit, let's look at some evidence right off the bat.
Wow.
I have a photograph of the two heads that were discovered by the boys.
I would love to see that. Wow, what we got here is definitely a photo from the 70s, all right. This thing's black and white, but we got two hands outstretched, and in both, just almost the exact size of their palms, two rocks that look ancient as all hell. One on the left is kind of like a lighter color. Definitely looks like the kind of thing you'd see in the British Museum of like a thousands of year old human face. And the one on the right looks a little creepier, but this is creepy.
They kind of look like the potato smiley faces that you used to eat as a child.
Well, the one on the left, absolutely. It looks,
is a borderline potato.
Looks delicious. The one on the right, yeah, whenever I would cook them as a child and burn the shit out of them.
A little crispy, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the boys didn't think much of their discovery. All right? They're 11 years old. Life's a joke to them. They don't have to worry about taxes, curses, ex-wives, cryptids, all the problems that the modern day man has to deal with.
They're just thinking about what window are they going to smash first
Exactly.
with this tiny missile.
So the kids took the stone heads back into the house. But little did they know, that wasn't the only thing that they brought back into the house. In the following days, the Robson family experienced a number of strange events. The heads would be left alone on a countertop, and in the morning when the Robsons woke up, they'd be facing a different direction, as if they'd moved by themselves. Late at night, they'd hear crashing noises, and wake to find objects had been thrown across the room. These heads were trouble. And it wasn't just the Robsons that were suffering.
What?
Several nights after the discovery of the heads, their neighbor, Ellen Dodd, and her daughter were up late one night, enjoying each other's company, when they heard what sounded like someone coming up the stairs. Hello? Ellen cried, confused as no one else should have been in the house. As the footsteps got louder, Ellen noticed that it sounded like claws on a wooden floor.
What?
It was dark in the hallway, but she heard the stomping of heavy claws coming down the hall, getting louder and louder until it stopped right by the doorway. Ellen and her daughter both screamed, "Ah!" as they saw in the shadows a half-man, half-beast lurking in the doorway.
What?
It seemed unfazed by their screams and walked back down the stairs and out the door.
Holy shit.
When Ellen finally got the courage to leave the room and check downstairs, she said there was no sign of it anywhere, but the front door had been left wide open.
Wow.
Things are heating up fast in today's case, guys. You all thought they were going to take the heads in. The heads would do some twisty turnies at night. Maybe one of the heads would fall off the countertop. Maybe
Sure.
one of the boys would get a weird cough. No, day 3, night beasts.
Night beasts.
Breaking into your house, eating your goddamn Cheerios, shitting on your pillow. They're in your house, and it could be because of the heads. We don't know.
We cannot state definitively that it's because of the heads, but the night beast sightings up to that point in human history were almost zero.
Zero. Yeah.
So
Prior to the heads, 0. After the heads had entered the house, 1.
1. So there is a correlation, I will say. Interesting about the night beast. We got a couple little behavioral things there. So he walked backwards down the stairs.
Yeah.
He's definitely part man, because I don't think beasts, well, certainly dogs can't walk backwards downstairs. Have you ever seen a dog walking downstairs?
No, I haven't seen a dog walking downstairs.
They're not good at it. Not least backwards.
He's described as being half man, half beast. I'm presuming it is beast top, man bot. No, wait, what the is he? Wait, does he have naked human legs or werewolf legs? I guess if he's got goddamn claws, he's probably beast bottom, man top.
It could go either way. He could be a Two-Face scenario where it's like the left-hand side is man, the right-hand side is beast.
He's got beast knees, human shins, beast toes, very human elbows, borderline paranormally human elbows.
Beast chin, human cheekbones.
Yeah, they don't go into details. I do hear about, there is talk about, furry sounding paws on the floors, that sort of thing. So I'm assuming, if anything, he's beast bottom, man top.
This is interesting, though, that it apparently, you said this was a neighbor?
Yes, this is the neighbor. So this isn't even the house that had the rocks in it.
The beast skipped the house.
He got the wrong place. He's showing up looking for these little rocks.
This could be another sign this is not a fully human night terror, because a human would get the address right, whereas a beast, they might be a couple numbers off on the street.
It's true. Well, both the families had enough at this point. It's one thing for the heads to rotate in the night like they're being microwaved, but inviting beast men into the house is a step too far.
No, you gotta run that by us.
The family decided to give the heads to Dr. Anne Ross, who was an expert in Celtic artifacts and had several other stone heads in her collection already.
Oh, so stone heads are a pre-existing artifact.
Yeah, this is a thing. I don't know if it's directly linked to just Celtic history, but
it's
Dr.
a good place
Anne Ross,
to start.
Yeah, and she seems like a specialist. If you're gonna give the heads to someone, she's already got a couple. You find a Pokemon card, you're gonna give it to the guy who has a couple Charizards already. You know it's gonna be safe with him.
Of course, he's got the plastic wallet to keep them in.
Yeah, and like the deck holder, those cardboard deck holders.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
You're not going to give it to your mum, who's going to use it as like a coaster.
Exactly, or a bookmark. What are you thinking, Mum?
I will never forgive her.
The family hoped that by giving them to an expert, she could possibly uncover the story of their origin and in turn discover why these strange events were taking place. Always good to get a woman or man of science involved in a paranormal case. But Dr. Ross was unaware that she was about to have her shit rocked.
What?
According to her own account, she awoke one morning to see a dark figure, part animal, part man, all beast, walking out of her bedroom. She leapt out of bed and chased the figure downstairs,
Whoa.
where she saw it heading in the direction of the kitchen, but quickly lost track of it. Now, she knew about what had happened to Ellen Ross, the
Right.
first person to see a beast man soon after the Stoneheads had entered her life. So this encounter didn't seem like a coincidence.
That makes sense because she didn't seem very surprised. In fact, she came out swinging as soon as she woke up. It seems like she just went for the nearest weapon and chased the thing outside.
In her testimony about the event, she did actually say that she was like, I don't know what happened. It was very uncharacteristic of me, but I just felt compelled
Wow.
to chase this thing down the stairs.
That's pretty baller, though.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be a little bit disheartened if you were the original owners of the rocks and you're like, we gotta pass this thing off to a person of science. And you check up a couple days later and it's like, hey, did you find out anything about the origin of the rocks? And the doctor's like, oh, I don't know. Why don't you ask the 11-foot night beast that just ran into my kitchen? It's like, all right, I'm going to hang up.
It's like I was hoping you could maybe tell me the period it was from, or maybe the part of the world maybe it originated. The period it was from was about 25 minutes ago. The area under my damn bed.
Despite this encounter, Dr. Ross kept the heads for further examination, still hoping to uncover their origin. But that was until a few days later, when Dr. Ross and her husband came home to discover their daughter crying in the corner of the house. When they asked her what was wrong, she said that she unlocked the front door and entered the house that afternoon to witness a large black shape rushing down the stairs towards her. Stopping halfway, the creature vaulted the banister and scuttled down the hallway into the darkness.
I mean, vaulting the banister, that was some like parkour shit you do when you were 8.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun when you're that age. It's not that cool or impressive.
I know. He's gone from, I think, trying to like intimidate people to just show off how badass he is and flexible.
But this is interesting because now we got a third witness, basically, to the same thing.
Yeah, because we had the original person and their daughter. No, actually, this is 4 people.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first time it showed up was a wife and daughter.
Yeah.
And then second time was a wife. And then third time was a daughter. This thing loves wives and daughters.
If there's something we've established on This Paranormal Life previously, it's that children would never lie about a paranormal sighting.
It's true.
Time and time again, we have situations in which adults are oblivious to paranormal happenings. But thankfully, honest children have blown the cover on a bunch of amazing paranormal stories. Sure, some of them we've gone on to say are absolutely untrue.
Yeah. Sure, we had to file a couple lawsuits against some of those kids for inflammatory statements. But, you know, they have to learn somehow that they shouldn't lie. And if it's through a out-of-court settlement of $50,000, so be it.
Of course, legally, you cannot raise those kind of that kind of litigation in the United Kingdom. But that's why we've set up legal office in... It's close to where the commune is based, rumored to be near Barcelona. But I can't give away specifics. But
you've said too much.
It
already.
is also
You've said
legal
way too
to
much
sue
already.
children.
That's why I've called all of my 3 boys George Washington Jr. Because they'll never tell a lie, especially not to their old man.
How do you differentiate between the 3 if they're all called George Washington Jr.?
George Adam Washington Jr. is the number 1.
Is he the best?
He's one of the best. Second to George Adam Washington Jr., the second.
I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
The second, I
first
said.
time.
He's called the second. Then I've got George Adam Washington the third.
And you said...
And my daughter,
who?
Georgina Adam Washington the first.
Because there's no other Georgina.
There's no other Georginas.
You did say this George Adam Washington the first
came
only second to George Adam Washington the second. So... Is he the best of the 3?
He was the best, but actually, to be honest with you, he's a little liar. He will not stop.
What?
They won't.
So it didn't work.
It's like a monkey paw wish. I wished for kids to be like George Washington, and they just got the names. These little bastards lie through their teeth the whole time. They're compelled to do it.
They're on some Ocean's 11 shit. They are always
heisting
and dreaming.
Yeah. They need me to have 11 of them so they can pull off some sort of bank robbery. But I'm only on number 5.
You only listed 4.
The 5th, Jorge Adam Washington the first.
Okay.
He's the first because there's no other Jorge.
Why is he Spanish?
We actually had to call him Jorge because he used to lie all the time and tell people he was from
Okay.
Spain. Yeah, he's probably the biggest liar of all of them.
So-
There are a bunch of little
So
rascals.
rather than getting him to stop lying, you changed his name legally?
It was easier. It was easier that way. They're a lot to handle. Believing that the presence of the stone heads to be responsible for these events, Dr. Ross passed her whole collection of stone heads, along with the Hexham pair, to other collectors.
She got rid of everything?
She got rid of everything.
Wow.
She cleaned house. That's how bad this haunting was. She thought it was going to infect the other heads. It's kind of like when my children, George Adam Washington's George 1 through 5, went to the local primary school.
Sure.
And the teachers there said it is easier to evict them and kick them out before they infect the other students with their lies.
You're like, I'm sorry, what's the problem? I thought they were acing every class.
You think Dr. Ross had it bad? How about living with 5 little night beasts, all 5 foot high, lying nonstop to their old man?
5 foot high is pretty tall. What age are they?
Now that I think about it, they might be lying about their height, because they're pretty small.
I took them on their word.
I should have let them ride that roller coaster, man. I think they're lying to me. And at this point, even more specialists became part of the story. In 1977, the heads passed into the care of Don Robbins, a controversial chemist who dabbled in a range of earth mysteries related to things like the magnetic properties of stones. Now, he became convinced that the Hexham heads could prove his stone tape theory.
Stone tape?
Stone tape theory. This is actually really interesting. I looked into this for quite a while. This theorized that stone could record events and human emotions and play them back almost like a cassette tape.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which I think is a pretty cool idea.
It's a very cool idea. You also don't want to get it confused with something I've talked on the podcast before about, which is stoned ape theory.
Right.
Which is, I think, the theory that weed caused humans to evolve or something.
Yeah. Which, again, that's another very interesting theory. Stoned ape theory.
Equally wild.
Equally as cool as the stone tape theory.
So how do the stones play back these emotions or events?
I guess this idea is kind of the basis for every paranormal object on Earth. You know, you think about a haunted house.
Yep.
Some people would theorize that it's the spirit being linked to a location, but these people would theorize that it's actually whatever traumatic event happened in the past, it's seeped into the rocks, it's seeped into the physical materials in the world, and those moments and human emotions play back through time like almost like a looping cassette, and people can experience them, which I think is actually a very interesting idea.
It's fascinating.
Stoned Ape, however, theorizes that a bud came to Earth like a meteorite and fell into the jungle, where obviously the monkeys smoked it, they chilled out for long enough that they stopped fighting each other and made an iPhone and got out of the jungle once and for all.
Monkey Steve Jobs emerged from the woods, bud in hand, and an early Stone Age prototype of the iPod in the other.
Don Robbins kept the heads for some analysis until early 1978, but despite being some time later, he too experienced the curse of the heads.
I mean, he had a good amount of time to.
Well, first off, his dog got excited and bit one of the heads. So even if it was going to be a clean slate, he didn't start off on the right foot.
That might be how the beast started, I'm just thinking.
A dog bit the head?
It's like, radioactive spider biting Peter Parker. It's like the dog bites the cursed head.
So the head grows a beast body?
Yeah. Or the dog turns into a man beast.
There's something there.
There's something there.
Let's get Marvel on the phone. Robbins reported a number of strange events. He said his car died when the heads were near it, and he swore that once he saw the head's eyeballs moving as it followed him across the room.
Whoa.
But despite all this, he seemed to be unable to connect the objects with any main poltergeist activity.
Interesting.
He passed them on to another character, a man called Frank Hyde. And this is the weird part. No one knows where they went.
Oh.
The heads disappeared off the map.
After they gave him the Frank Hyde?
Yeah, well, he's the person who I could find had them last. And then the next paragraph is pretty much the heads are gone. No one knows what happened. Maybe they were recalled up to the mothership.
Yeah.
Maybe he buried them back in the same place they were dug up to hopefully end the cycle of Night Beast. I have no idea. But they disappeared off the face of the earth.
Was Frank Hyde a MIB who was, doing a little cleanup operation?
He's just a stone head with sunglasses on. Hey, I could take those off your hands for you. Just place them right here by me. What are your thoughts so far, Kit, on the story of these strange paranormal stone heads?
It's pretty weird. I like it. It's creepy. It's like something that would be in Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
We don't really... There's been a lot of cursed objects, but not too many like kind of ancient cursed objects.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fascinating and seems like something we should have come across. There's loads of ideas out there like voodoo where someone can create a doll and instill a curse in it.
Yeah.
And, that curse is nice and fresh and it works. And there's lots of paranormal stories about those kind of things. But it's kind of cool and spooky, the idea that someone maybe even hundreds or thousands of years ago created some sort of paranormal item, or that's might have come from outer space or who knows where.
No idea.
And that turns up periodically throughout history and haunts those who come into contact with it.
The weirdest thing I find is this link between this half man, half beast.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a giant head that was rolling through the hallways at night, there's a bit of link there, but it's really hard to join those two together.
Yeah, this is the real meat of the story, as it were.
Yeah.
Is the Night Beast. Because it comes out of left field. What does he have to do with it? Is he the protector of the heads? Are the heads goddamn sacred? Does this beast come and claim the lives of anyone who holds the heads?
There is a possible theory about where this beast came from.
Okay.
There is a wolf known as the Hexham wolf. This was a giant gray wolf that escaped from a zoo in the winter of 1904. So we're going way
70
back.
Years previous?
About
Okay.
70 years previously. This thing wreaked havoc on the town. It killed livestock. It terrified locals. It got to the point where people weren't staying out late. Sheep were kept inside at night. Lights on the town remained on. This is how bad... granted, this is the olden days, where a single stray wolf is like Amber Alert.
Yeah.
It's like DEFCON 5. The kids don't go to school because there is a wolf It's like a fairy tale. There's a wolf in the town. Everyone lock your little piggy doors.
Yeah, the police are trying to take the thing out, but all their weaponry is made of straw for some reason because it's back in time. It's like the goddamn nursery rhyme. The wolf's just running around blowing down houses because they're, also made of straw.
I don't remember how that one worked out.
I think the idea was the wolf could do whatever it wanted until they figured out how to make a brick house.
But what were the three houses? Straw was the first one.
Sure.
Because he blew that down in like a second.
Yeah, in a minute.
He didn't even need to knock. He was
No.
like...
No. He didn't even try.
It was almost out of courtesy that he did the little pig, let me come in.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
He didn't even... you could see the pig through the gaps in the straw.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard.
No.
And then the second one was...
Was it just wood?
Wood?
Was it just like a timber house?
What kind of beast wolf is this that he's blowing down a log cabin?
This is what I'm saying.
That's insane. At this point, those pigs, the first one deserved to die. I think the second one pretty much had the right idea though.
Yeah.
And then because he should have been safe in the log cabin.
He really should have been.
I don't remember, did the wolf blow down the house and then eat the pig? Or did the pig run into the second house?
Probably in the Disney-fied version, they run into the house.
Yeah.
Let's be real. In the old school version, they definitely chows down brutally. That piglet's squealing.
Shaking about.
Yeah.
He's going at that thing like legs first, so the head is still out.
Yeah.
The wolf's tearing it to shreds. Some of these pigs don't even have houses. They just live on a farm. Someone's collected
Some
them
just
for them.
sleep on straw. They're not covered by anything.
They're too trusting. You can stay in there, it's fine. Well, eventually a large meeting of farmers from the area was held, and the local MP offered a £5 reward for the wolf's skin.
could buy a nice little straw mansion.
Also, the Hexham Wolf Committee was set up
Wow.
and established to help find... There wasn't a lot going on. There wasn't a lot going on in Hexham at the time. They're establishing
so
wolf
much
hunting
time
committees.
and effort put into establishing a committee that could have been spent hunting the wolf.
So many pigs have gone in this time. It escalated to the point where a hunting party of 150 residents showed up to a local school armed
We're
with guns
talking Dad Squad.
after hearing the beast was spotted nearby. This is a dad squad, guys.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the Hexham
You
Dad
know.
Squad that was established in 1907 to hunt a single wolf. The wolf was never found. They think it got away. Someone found the body of a wolf, but when they examined it, they were like, this is just a regular wolf. This isn't a zoo wolf.
Oh.
It was like,
Oh, it was a wild one.
yeah, for all
something.
I have come to understand about this thing, it was enormous.
Yeah.
It was like a small horse.
It does fit in with a lot of the other cryptid stories we come across, though, where it's like, this can't possibly be it. It's nowhere near as terrifying as the one everyone's seen.
Yeah,
like
Dave said it had wings. This is just a regular wolf.
Dave's like, well, I can't be sure, but no, I guess it had wings. I'm pretty sure.
Dave has spoken. Why do you guys trust Dave so much?
He doesn't seem very sure.
It's like, plus, we found that thing eating pigs, eating the very pigs people said were silence. Who are you that doubts Dave? Kill him.
What?
Dave has spoken. Dave's like, now that I think about it, the night beast looked a lot like that guy. What? Dave, no! Get him.
Take the children too. We can't take any chances.
I must retire to my straw palace. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's kind of where the story ends.
Okay.
People obviously drew links between the Hexham heads and the Hexham wolf.
Yeah.
Because when the Hexham head showed up, the Hexham wolf beast man showed up as
He
well.
at least started kicking off.
It makes sense. But that being said, I mean, there should be no realistic link between these stone heads and the wolf. Before they went missing, it went through the hands of a lot of different scientists and archaeologists, and there were a lot of different theories being thrown around, but no one could really specifically pinpoint a area or a region or a time that these artifacts came from.
Damn.
Which was kind of weird, because you'd think at least someone would have a bit of an idea, especially if you're giving them to experts who have studied Celtic archaeology and also already have a bunch of stone heads. You think that they would have some sort of idea, but when you start throwing a man beast in the equation, you got more priorities.
Yeah.
You stop trying to date the rocks and you start focusing on staying alive.
It's true.
So this was kind of a tough one to investigate. It was a fun one for sure, because I love stones and I love monsters, and this is both of my favorite things coming together. What are your thoughts, Kit?
This is essentially it. We got a really fun story about these stone heads. We got a fun story about the wolf, but it's the connective tissue here that's missing. Yeah. How do these relate to one another? If we had some mechanism by which this could work, it would make a lot more sense. And then, like you say, this is what's so confusing about the story, that we can't even pinpoint this to like some Celtic tribe that wandered England hundreds of years ago and maybe implanted some kind of wolf curse.
Right.
Because these kind of, back in the day, these were kind of pagan times. There's a lot of animal worship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There could be some connection there, but
these aren't even wolf heads.
no.
They're just normal little human heads.
And without any experts weighing in on this and telling us where these come from, they're just goddamn rocks with smiley faces on them.
Pretty much. I mean, they are creepy as hell.
They are creepy.
And, I understand for these people in this case that it was difficult to deal with because, you get a paranormal book that starts, spewing out ghosts, you burn it. You get a paranormal chair, you smash it. When you have a paranormal rock, you can't burn that thing. Smashing it's already pretty hard. You don't want to let anything spooky out of it when it cracks in half. Mm-hmm. It's a difficult thing to deal with. It's probably like Jumanji. You throw that thing in the ocean and it's going to wash up on a beach playing jungle drums and curse a little boy and turn him into a monkey. I haven't seen Jumanji in a long time. I think that was the plot.
You're so right, though. It's like whoever created that little stone head that's cursed they didn't want it to be easily destroyed.
It's true.
They wanted it to last for a very long time.
And it did. It did. We think. We don't know when it was made.
We don't know. We also don't know if it's... we don't know whether it's real.
Exactly. The boys could have carved it in the back garden and shown it to their mom. It's an interesting case. I'm a little bit disappointed that in a case where we are investigating paranormal rocks, they are missing.
At least there's a photo. The photo is good.
Yeah, there's some good photos. There's some good sketches done by some people. But I mean, come on. That's the bare minimum, is to have the rocks.
Yeah.
That's like investigating a haunted Kindle, and there's no, and we can't find the Kindle. You need the Kindle, man. It's too recent. It's too much of an object to lose.
Haunted Kindle is such a shit thing to be haunted, isn't it? Like, what would it even do? It would just like say creepy shit when you go to read a book, which is not very often.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe like it would start putting your name in the book in the place of characters' names. Yeah. Something like that.
Actually, I take it back. That's awesome.
Pretty badass.
We should pitch that as a movie.
That's really cool. This Paranormal Life presents The Haunted Kindle. I loaded up the book, and I could have sworn that I was on page 205, but it said I was on page 207. I completely lost my place, and a large chunk of the story was ruined for me. Oh, what was that? The Kindle's now on the floor.
I was sure that I'd been reading Harry Potter's Prisoner of Azkaban, but whenever I booted up my Kindle, it was Harry Potter, the Half-Blood Prince.
But back to the case. It's conclusion time.
Oh.
It's time. We've talked enough about this case, I think, for us to both make our minds up.
You're damn right.
And I want to tell you right now, David McCartney, we investigated your case, and I think I speak for Kit when I say that this week is a double no.
It's a double no.
I'm sorry to say it. 2 heads, 2 no's. But hey, that was a great suggestion sent into thisparanormallifepodcast@gmail.com.
Hey Dave, what's your conclusion? Take David away. No! Dave, so cruel. He does deserve it though for sending in a bogus story.
That's true, yeah. You send a spam, you get offed. That's the This Paranormal Life rule, starting from now. Thank you so much for emailing in that suggestion, and thank you so much for everyone who tuned in to listen to this week's episode. Guys, if you enjoy the podcast, there's a very easy way to show your appreciation. First off, what you can do is go onto iTunes and give us a rating on the podcast store.
But make sure it's a good one. I just have to say that because sometimes we just say rate the podcast and we don't specify, and then people, honestly, if I'm being honest... Yeah, I didn't know you could do a 0. I thought you had to give a minimum of 1 star.
No, they actually hacked the iTunes store.
They did.
Which is insane. So much effort to be mean.
Yeah.
So we actually need people to hack up to give us a couple 8s out of 5 just to even the playing field. That would be great.
It. While we're at it, just give us a 3,000 out of 5.
Give us the 100 emoji out of 5.
Yes.
That would be great. Another way you can show your appreciation is by going to patreon.com/This Paranormal Life. We don't run ads on this podcast. We fund it all ourselves. We do it all. We research all this stuff ourselves. You think David McCartney wrote any of this shit? He just went,
sure. Okay, well, that's a bit offensive.
Sent it away into the cloud where I had to find it. I had to research it. David, I shouldn't have even actually shouted him out. I shouldn't have shouted him out. That was stupid of me to give him any credit for any of this.
He found the story.
He didn't
absolutely find the story. He took the time out of his day.
He had a daydream about it. He had a fleeting thought, and I inceptioned my way in, and I ganked it.
He emailed us. And you read the email.
Yeah, and I read the email. And a lot of this script was from his email.
Right, so you admit it. He wrote a large chunk of it.
I adapted it. I
think you should send him a couple bucks. I really do.
Do you credit J.K. Rowling for the Harry Potter movies?
What?
Would you credit J.K. Rowling? Why?
Of course, she wrote every book.
She did all.
What are you talking about?
Daniel Radcliffe. That's who I credit them to.
He was about 12 when the first movie came out. How could
Grundle or whatever the his name is.
You don't know anything about the
Hermione Watson. All three of those little wizards,
definitely not
they
her
are the ones
name.
that made that movie special.
They
And
were
all
they
of
were
the directors.
too young. They
Dumb
didn't write it.
Wizard.
You are comparing yourself to Rupert Grundle and Hermione, whatever the
I'm just saying, look, we should put more credit on ourselves. We're the ones who created the show. We're the ones, I wrote the goddamn story. I investigated it. You know what? This shouldn't even be a plug for the Patreon. This should just be like, send me money in an envelope.
Well, it is.
It's my birthday.
This is your Patreon. This is.
But I
for
have
you.
to split it with you, and
Right.
we have like admin costs.
There is an
and there's,
overhead,
like
sure.
the equipment and the studio time and stuff. So like that, all that adds up, and I just want to like forget all that and just give it straight to me.
I feel like when you say forget all that, you just mean like you want me to kind of pay for that stuff.
If you could, that would really help.
No.
Because I owe David a lot of money because I promised him like a small fee for him to like write up this week's episode.
So you commissioned David to write the episode.
I gave him
wrote the episode.
He typed it up, sure. He typed it up for me and he put it in an email. But I'm the one that read it out and I'm the one that presented it, so I should get the cash.
How much is his fee? Just because you should clear these things with me beforehand.
$1,500.
That's a lot of money.
It's
for someone who you claim didn't do shit.
He did a little bit. I can go that far to say that he did like a little bit of it.
So why did you give him so much money for a little bit? What did you say? $1,500?
$1,500, and that was just like the down payment.
You know we have to do really.
That was the down payment because he's actually like every podcast I've done so far. You're gonna hate me when I say this.
Yeah, probably.
It was David. It wasn't even me.
Yeah, so we do 5 episodes a month.
Yeah.
How much are we in the hole?
Oh, well, he's kind of been doing it for free up
Okay.
until this episode where I was like, I need a big one here, David. I need a double yes. There's a dry spell of no's.
It didn't work.
I was like, give me the gold, David. Screw the 1,500, $3,000 on the table if you can guarantee me 2 yeses
So there's
delivered
no way.
in my
there's
inbox.
no way he's getting the 3 Gs because
There's
it's a
no
double
way,
no.
David. You're not getting a penny. There's the twist.
You said he got a down payment of $1,500.
You're not getting a penny now. You're not getting a penny more, David.
He got away pretty good.
He made a good getaway. Sure, that's most of my bank account. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll be honest, the story wasn't that long. He didn't put that much work into it.
There's a lot of filler involved. The Hexham wolf never existed. I added that bit on.
The whole time we're wondering why there's no connection because, you made it up.
So, David, you scammed me. Enjoy your $1,500. As you can tell, guys, we're in the hole. We need your support so I can pay this son of a bitch for next week's episode.
You're hiring him again?
I think he might have something up his sleeve and I want to see. So, David, get in touch. Guys, if you could, if you have any money to support us, it's on patreon.com/This Paranormal Life. You can get shout outs on the show.
Go straight to the middleman, patreon.com/David, where David will be writing This Paranormal Life episodes for a mere $1,500 a month.
I really like the idea that this David is the Dave from the local town. Yes, Rory, I guarantee 2 yeses. Yeah, check it out, guys. You can get shout outs, shirts, tons of cool rewards, and you help support the show. And if you do support us on Patreon, what we like to do is give you a special shout out right here on the podcast.
Special thank you to Flynn Stephen.
Flynn is my next of kin. That's right, he is my next of kin. He's my emergency contact. He is everything that he's like a life vest that I just carry with me at all times.
Interesting. Have you been doing some dangerous shit that you need an emergency contact for?
1,000%, man. I'm a paranormal podcaster. Every day I live is a day where I can die.
Yeah, because you did black out yesterday. I tried calling the emergency contact. It was just under F, Stephen, and they didn't pick up. They actually hung up. They actually, one dial.
Oh, man. Flynn, you gotta pick up, man. I'm telling you.
It's a good thing you came to because what would we have done?
It's true.
Thanks also to Chloe Burton. Chloe Burton, the human curtain. No light gets through Chloe. It's weird.
She's like a black hole.
Yeah, she's just like a human shadow. She's like the shadow from Peter Pan or some shit. She's all shadow.
Oh my god. So that's not just no light gets through her.
No
which
light
you started
actually
with
reflects off her.
Right, because no light gets through pretty much any human. That's not paranormal. That's just kind of how humans work. But you're saying she's a shadow monster now?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
a lot
much.
weirder.
Well,
Okay.
the human curtain, because that rhymes better than shadow monster.
Of course, yeah. Wow.
Thanks also to Rob Evans.
I'm Robin Evans. About $5 a month.
Rude.
But in return, I'm giving him a little something. I'm giving him a little bonus content. I'm
Okay.
giving him a shout out, you know? It's like a serial killer leaving like a rose on the scene of the crime. Sure, he
Doesn't
killed
make
someone,
up for
but
what he did.
But
Yeah.
it's a nice gesture.
It's still a nice rose.
Exactly.
Thanks also to Jody Reese.
They call her Explodey Jody because her weird little hobby is to go into libraries at the weekend and just scream.
Oh, so
Yeah.
like emotionally explode.
Yeah, not physically explode, but just
Okay. Yeah, because that wouldn't work.
smash things up. I think she just gets a kick out of interrupting other people's days.
That's pretty funny to think of her walking into a library and then going, "No, not this week."
Jody, get out! Get out!
Thanks also to Nicole C. Deloac.
Nicole C. stole my knees.
What?
That's right, we were at the park one day. I dozed off for 1 second, woke up with no knees.
Dozed off at the park?
Yeah, with Nicole.
In
We were just
company?
enjoying the sun. I thought, I'm with Nicole, I'm safe. I woke up without any knees.
And you weren't safe.
I was not very safe at all. I actually dozed off to the sound of her sharpening a blade. I think just the rhythmic cleaning of it just put me to sleep. And I woke up with no knees.
What does that mean for you going forward?
Well, I'm shorter.
Okay.
For a start, which sucks because I was about 6 and now I'm not.
You weren't sick. You were.
I was about 6. Now I'm 4'3".
I don't think you were.
I definitely
over a
was.
foot of
I definitely
kneecaps.
was. No, I was definitely 6 beforehand. I'm 4 now. I don't know how that works, but I definitely was 6 foot beforehand.
Your torso would have to be like I'd have to.
I'd have to be all
have no
knees.
legs. Yeah.
Well, now Nicole is all knees now. She's probably selling them on the black market.
Thanks also to Stuart Bailey.
Stuart Bailey hurts daily. He had some weird-ass Benjamin Button disease where even though he is a young man, he has the body and bones of a 1,000-year-old mummy.
Yeah.
Every day is just, getting out of bed hurts. Going to bed hurts. Eating my cereal everything hurts daily.
Jesus, that sounds just awful.
It is. But hey, I'm glad we can, brighten up your day a little bit, bud.
He looks like an elite college athlete. But he sounds like this. Slow down, you little whippersnappers. Thanks also to Joanne Berg.
Joanne Berg, inventor of the Joanne Burger.
Wow.
That's right.
It's a good burger, I seem to remember.
It is. It's your classic burger with a little twist. She adds a little cheese to it.
Burgers always have cheese.
No, that's a cheeseburger. Not
So-
just a burger with cheese.
So it's a cheeseburger?
No, it's a... Look, she has this discussion. Every single customer is like, can I get a hamburger? It's like, sure, comes with a little bit of cheese. And they're like, a cheeseburger? No, it's a Joanne burger.
Right.
It's a big argument they have back and forward.
I mean, I seem to remember it was like a decent burger. I don't think does it necessitate like this amount of discussion?
She would disagree, and I would disagree.
Sure.
Ungrateful. You try and give someone a free burger, and they don't appreciate it. You seen this, Joanne?
Are there free burgers?
No, there's no free burgers. She charges up the nose for them. Money's got to come from somewhere for all that little bit of cheese.
Thanks also to Thomas Bertner. Well, if it isn't Thomas Bertner, the human curtainer, this guy installs curtains, but they're shadow people.
Really?
So you hire him. You got some beautiful windows. You want to put in some nice matching curtains. He comes around. He's like, oh, you guys go take a walk or like make a cup of tea. I'll have
Weird.
these things up shortly. You come back, shadow people overrun your house.
Why would anyone
Just
pay
like
for
we
this
discussed
service?
earlier. Well, they pay
His Yelp
because they
reviews
think,
must be ground zero.
yeah. But do you always check the reviews?
No, I usually
Exactly.
just look them in the eyes, and if they're trustworthy, they get the curtain job.
And that is why we have no curtains and many shadow people
It's very true.
in the studio. Thanks also to Jim Troy.
I can't even be Jim to thank you enough. But I'm going to Troy. I'm going to Troy my hardest. Thank you for your support. I don't know where to big Jim, honestly, but your support means we can do this every week and try our hardest. And you're the reason that we're still here. So thank you.
Thanks also to Brandon Langley. Brandon Strangley Langley.
Oh, this isn't going to be good.
Don't worry. He was incarcerated for
strangling?
A lifetime in the 80s I don't want to go into it, but some pretty unsavory stuff. But he is reformed. He is different. You can't shake that nickname. Let's be honest. But he's a contributing member of society now. And sure, it's kind of hard to get a job on the outside. So yes, he is in pest control. He's putting his talents to good use. He
strangles
animals? The beasts. That's right.
Jesus.
But it keeps him off humans. You know,
it's a pretty good idea. I thought you were gonna say you hire him to get rid of a pest in your house, and when you come back, shadow people everywhere. That's right.
Right. Yeah. Thanks also to Terry Winchester.
Terry Winchester, the gin tester.
Ooh.
That's right. Terry's known in their local town as the gin tester. Terry can just walk into any shop, grab a bottle off the rack, and start chugging.
That doesn't sound like testing. It just sounds like alcoholism.
It's a blurry line. Very blurry line. Especially after a couple bottles. Because Terry's not a good drinker.
Well, normally testing is like you take a sip and then normally you spit it out so that you don't get drunk.
Not Terry's style.
Okay.
Not Terry's style.
You're saying finish the bottle?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Usually have a little nap.
That's extreme.
As well, in the booze aisle.
You're not even writing any notes down. You're not actually reviewing it.
It's a good life.
Thanks also to Andres.
Andres, we need you to undress, because here in the Paranormal Commune, we do have uniforms.
Right.
You can wear a This Paranormal Life black t-shirt with the white triangle, which is available on Patreon.
That's true.
You can wear fresh, pristine white robes, or you can wear the see-through raincoats from Blade Runner. Those are the only three options.
Sure.
And unless you're wearing one of those, you get booted out.
And I know what you're saying. You're seeing a lot of shadow people running around the commune.
And zero curtains.
A lot of them. They're not wearing the uniform, but they're honestly a little hard to control.
Yeah.
And
we let them do their own thing.
And old Strangly isn't picking up his phone, so it's hard to get the situation under control. So if you would just please pick a uniform,
yeah,
we can continue the initiation. Thanks, lastly but not leastly, to Steven Siegel. You know, sometimes you can just tell from someone's name what they do. Maybe their name's Smith. And you're like, oh yeah, you would have been a blacksmith once
Taylor.
upon a time. Taylor.
Yeah.
Stephen, I can see right through your name. C. Gill, you were a fish.
That's
a fish
right.
in a past life. You're swimming through all 7 seas, just taking in the sights, and then one year you just thought, it, I'm gonna try out this human shit. Just splooshed out onto land, and it's been history ever since.
And a great path that has led you straight to This Paranormal Life. Thank you to everyone that we shouted out and everyone who listened to this week's podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will, as always, be back next Tuesday with a brand new paranormal tale.